Taking the time to figure out how you're showing up in the world and the impact you're making on other people is in itself a major contribution. Your own personal development is a journey that is generous to undertake. It is deeply meaningful and it is highly impactful. The ideas of purpose, meaning, and clarity are difficult to divorce, but there's some satisfaction when we start to make distinctions between these three ideas. Our purpose relates to our life's contribution. Meaning relates to the satisfaction we feel when our purpose is realized. And clarity relates to our ability to see and recognize how our purpose and meaning align. Clarity will appear as the results of the actions you are taking toward your purpose. The degree to which we feel meaning in our lives will depend largely on how intentional we are about living out our purpose. And when all of these ideas start to align, when we have clarity around our purpose and we experience the feeling of that meaning, that's when I say we start to experience personal freedom. When we are truly being the authentic versions of ourselves and not just feeling it inside, but expressing it. We are free to express who we really are. When we are free to be who we are, despite the burdens that we've been born into, despite the self-constructed prison, the cage that we find ourselves living in, when we're able to live our purpose and break free of that stuff. To help make sense of purpose, I'd like to break purpose down into three different parts. The first, the universal commonality that we all have when it comes to living our purpose. The second is our personal scope. And the third, the duration of our purpose, or how long it lasts. First of all, the universal commonality, the purpose that we all share, is that we are all here to serve one another. This makes the idea of purpose much more manageable, I have found. When you realize that we're not alone, that we don't live in a vacuum or a singularity, when you realize that we coexist, it makes our purpose a whole lot easier. If my purpose is to serve other people and yours is too, the real work for us then is to figure out how I serve other people. So the idea of purpose, this really big, grandiose, unmanageable idea, becomes really manageable all of a sudden. My purpose is to serve others. How I do that is the real challenge. That's the real work we have to do to figure out how we do that. Our purpose can be very limited in scope and still deeply meaningful. Your contribution can be one of great service to others, big or small. You could be working on the next vaccine, or your purpose could be simply to make other people laugh. Your purpose may be to raise great kids or to end world hunger. And because of our interconnectedness, because we are all interconnected, neither purpose is large or small. It's just our role in this interconnected world. I also think it's important to realize that sometimes our purpose of serving others is to work on ourselves so that we can become a better person for those people in our lives. Sometimes our purpose is to break the cycle that we've been born into so that it's not repeated for future generations. Your own personal development is a journey that is generous to undertake. It is deeply meaningful and it is highly impactful. Taking the time to figure out how you're showing up in the world and the impact you're making on other people is in itself a major contribution. So don't allow yourself to feel the shame or any guilt or allow yourself to diminish or allow others to diminish the contribution you are making when you are taking this season of your life to work on yourself. There will be seasons of your life when you're meant to be out there making a big difference, making a big splash for the people in your life, making your contribution, making your purpose known. But there are also seasons of your life that require quiet, intentional, and purposeful focus on yourself. Our lives are made up of seasons, and some seasons are meant just for you. Our purpose need not be a life sentence. I hear people talk about all the time, well, what is your big why? Well, that always scared me a little bit because I thought my big why had to mean for the rest of my life. And I got an enormous amount of relief when I realized that there's no life sentence. There's no self-imposed life sentence when it comes to my why or my purpose in life. Our life is made up of seasons, and every season is going to bring along different challenges, different opportunities. Being self-aware will let us know when each season has passed, and each new season will bring along new challenges, new opportunities, and new people into your life. And if you find yourself not being quite as clear, if clarity is fluctuating, that's probably a really good hint that it's time to examine your life and bring awareness to what your purpose is for this season of your life. Because as you grow, your ability to help the rest of us will also grow. The changing of seasons in our lives and allowing our purpose to change as we grow is a really good thing. Now the question doesn't become, what is my life purpose? The question is, what is my purpose for this season of my life? Now that season may be 1 day, 1 month, 18 years, or 30 years. When it comes to our life purpose, there's no set duration. Simply know that when this season has taught you what you were meant to know, you'll naturally move on to the next.